The man gunned down in this parking lot hundreds of miles from East Tennessee was a father and a veteran who shared an uncommon bond with a military dad in Knoxville.
I feel like I lost another child.
Don Fitzgibbon lost his 19-year-old son Patrick to a roadside bomb in Afghanistan back in August of 2009.
I remember getting a knock at 5 a.m. I remember him telling me, Patrick had been killed, and I kept asking questions, and they just kept reading from a cue card.
Don Fitzgibbon recalls that moment as clearly as his first meeting with the staff sergeant sent in hours later to help him cope.
It was just like when he walked in, he's part of the family and always had been.
Mario Wilson was the casualty assistance officer the Army assigned to the Fitzgibbon family.
The first few months after Patrick was killed, Wilson stayed here pretty much 24/7.
Casualty assistance officers help plan funerals, file government paperwork, and comfort military families who lose a loved one at war.
You tell him what you want, and he makes the arrangements to do so.
Don says Sergeant Wilson went out of his way to win approval for Patrick's fiancée and cousin to fly to Delaware and attend the somber homecoming at Dover Air Force Base.
And he made some phone calls, come back and says, have him ready. We'd grow to bond, He told me stuff that, he wouldn't normally tell other people, and me and him discussed things that I wouldn't, tell people.
We developed a bond too, and that's highly unusual to develop that kind of a relationship with a casualty assistance officer.
Deb McKay leads a group that pays tribute to East Tennessee military veterans. As a Patriot Guard rider, she grew to know this father and the soldier sent to comfort him.
He's the man that was there for Donnie to lean on when Patrick was killed.
Sergeant Wilson's duty with the Fitzgibbon family ended officially after a few months, and he ended up moving to Indiana. But his friendship with Don grew over the last 3.5 years. They spent this Thanksgiving together, called 2 to 3 times a month, and talked just days before 46-year-old Mario Wilson was killed.
He went through 3 tours in Iraq and then 1 in Afghanistan, and he's killed at a Denny's.
Witnesses tell police Wilson and his fiancée were having breakfast with another couple when they exchanged words with another customer inside this Indianapolis restaurant. The verbal tussle spilled into the parking lot. Those same witnesses say that instigator started banging on the window, trying to pick a fight, and as Wilson was walking out the door to calm him down, the man pulled a gun and fired.
It's hard. I feel like I lost a brother.
He stood up for what he thought was right, and he protected the other people in the restaurant, and it cost him his life.
To have him die in just such a senseless way. We've lost a good one.
I spend a lot of time crying to myself.
The shooting unfolded almost 2 weeks ago, and in the days after Mario Wilson's death, in a lasting sign of his loyalty to the Fitzgibbon family, Don learned his son's picture has held a permanent post on the dashboard of Wilson's car. The 2 soldiers never met, but one carried the memory of the other everywhere he went.